And here's another video, and welcome back. I'm Dr. B, and today we're going to talk about institutionalization. Okay, what is that anyway? Well, what that is the antithesis of free markets and the antithesis of capitalism, but capitalism is a bad word. It's been totally abused and nobody knows what it means anymore. And institutionalism is kind of what everybody is practicing now, because the economic system was destroyed at the beginning of World War I. Now, the best book that I ever read on this subject, on the subject of institutionalism, and it wasn't a book about institutionalism, but it helped me understand what institutionalism is. And everywhere that you go, you will see it. And we might think it's got a lot to do with central banking, and it does. So a book that Max Kaiser and Stacy Herbert, who are my favorite Looney Tunes on the internet these days as far as political and social injustice are concerned, and the demise of American hegemony worldwide, and the rise of a new humanism, hopefully, and a new economic system. And they talked to a professor, his name is Saifedean Ammous, who wrote a wonderful book called The Bitcoin Standard. Now you remember, up until 1971, the world was on a gold standard, but previous to that, it sort of went on to the petro-buck standard, and in 1971, they backed out of backing the currency, the US dollar, with gold. So this totally destroyed our any possibility of accountability in the government. Okay, now here's the thing about institutionalism and capitalism. And I don't like that word. Capitalism, the way we think about it, is totally wrong. But what capitalism is, it's self-autonomous output and exchange with others for goods that they produce, that they're good at producing, exchanging something that you're good at producing. Okay? Now that's the whole point of civilization. Civilization is interaction. And interaction, we all have needs. And needs are being used in the totally incorrect way. Needs should be used as a springboard to interaction, peaceful interaction, social interaction, having a lot of fun, learning a lot of new things, building a lot of good things that everyone can use, and exchanging them, and this would be a good economy. And up until the 1800s, we kept using gold to back these kind of transactions, and by the early 1900s, you could go around the world using gold-backed currency like the pound and the franc and the Swiss franc and the French franc, because these were tied to a certain amount of gold. And what happened is, the classic thing that happens to money is that banks started watering down the amount of gold that was in each coin, and saying that they had more cash than they actually had as far as being able to back it with gold. And that meant that accounting and accountability, that's where the word accounting comes from. It comes from accountability, and accountability is a social thing. It's what human beings do for each other, right? I mean, you cannot have any kind of relationships without accountability, some kind of accountability. Women have a certain kind of accountability to each other. Men have a different sort of accountability, but that's the basis of society. And that's why I'm telling you is that society and spiritual development are one and the same thing, because you have to have, what today is called a moral compass, but that is such a fucked up term. Again, another Americanism that is totally drives away from any meaningful discussion. Okay, there's only 5 things really that we should be concerned about in society. I mean, from a moral point of view, as far as ethics are concerned. There should be no killing, there should be no stealing, there should be no lying, there should be no sexual misconduct, and there should be no intoxicants. And that's it. These are called the 5 precepts. We'll talk more about that in the next video, but this, I'm just jumping into the middle of a very global idea that has you at the core, and that has core ideas that work out into good social system, good economic system, good science, and good art and culture. So if you like that idea, I'm Dr. B, and smash the subscribe button and the little bell so that you can get my next video. And thanks again for being here.